All right, good morning, everyone. We want to thank you all for joining us today for our first webinar of 2019. Today, we'll be discussing the changes we've made to our website with the hope of helping you to get the most value out of it. My name is Matt Peterson, and I'm an advisor to the NAGDCA Executive Board, and I'll be discussing the ideas behind the change, such as why did we do it? What can you expect to see? And what's next? I'm joined today by Carly Miller, our program manager, who I'm sure many of you know, and she'll walk you through some of our most commonly used features and some new ones that may be of interest to you. Before we get started with the presentation, we want to let you know about a few housekeeping items. First, please remain muted with your video turned off throughout the call so the presentation isn't interrupted. We have designated time at the end of the presentation for a question and answer period, and throughout the webinar, you may submit questions anytime you want. The chat feature is located at the bottom of your screen. Your questions will be visible to everyone, and we'll answer as many of them as we can at the end. We are recording this presentation, and we'll post it to the webinar archive on the website for you and any other member who may not have been able to make it today to refer to as needed. So let's get started with a question that I'm sure some of you have, which is, why did we decide to do this now? The answer is pretty simple. Most of your interaction with NAGDCA is through the web, and we want to make that experience better for you. So how is it better? The first reason is that our resources are now much easier to find. In our previous website, some of our most important information was also the most difficult to locate. Those were services like the benchmarking portal, RFP posting site, and member forums, which all took several steps and clicks to find. Now we have multiple paths to each feature through our homepage, our menu structure, and our resource downloads, allowing you to get the information you need quickly so you can come to the site, find what you want, and move on with your day. The second reason we think it's better is that the new site allows us to present data to you in more innovative ways. As members, you really have two types of data. You have quantitative benchmarking data and qualitative information. For your quantitative data, things like participation rates and median account balances, our benchmarking portal allows you to compare your data to your peers. As I mentioned, this tool used to be very difficult to find, and now we have several paths built into the site right from the homepage to make accessing it as simple as possible. Something to note is that this year the benchmarking survey will also be significantly shorter and easier to fill out. So be on the lookout for more information about this in the coming months, and we highly encourage you to participate. But the major advantage of the new site is how it will allow us to answer your qualitative data questions. Things like how many plans use a match, or who uses age-based communication products, or what states have laws preventing automatic enrollment. We've seen a lot of these pop up on our forums, and a major strategic initiative for NAGDCA is to build up our knowledge base on questions like this to give you a picture of how different plans are operating across the country. We want to present this information to you in innovative ways like interactive maps and infographics, and the new format of the site gives us nearly unlimited options for accomplishing this. And finally, we think the new site will make it easier to connect the information I just talked about to action. Ultimately, that's our goal. We don't want to just give you information. We want to give you information you can use. To do that, we needed to make all our tools easy to access, like case studies and webinars, messaging systems, and best practice guides, to provide you with an accurate picture of the government-defined contribution industry and allow you to use the best ideas and insights from your peers across the country to make your plan better. Each of your plans is highly unique, and we want to offer you as many tools as possible to improve your plan and help your employees have a secure retirement. Building the new website gave us the opportunity to help connect you with the information and people you need to make that possible. So those are the ideas that drove us to create the site and why we think it's a better platform. Now we want to get into some specifics, and I'm going to hand it over to Carly to give you a tour. So Carly, take it away.
Thanks, Matt. So I'm going to begin with logging into the website. So a lot of the content on the site is reserved for members only. So to be able to access everything, you want to be sure that you are logged into the site. So from the home page here, you can simply navigate to the member login on the far right here. and log in with your email address and password. So if you have forgotten your password or need to reset it, you can use the Forgot Your Password link here. Or if you are unsure about which email address may be connected to your NAGDA membership, then you can also reach out to staff and we can get those credentials for you. So the first tool that we're going to take a look at is the membership map. So under the membership tab at the top there, you can select member map. And this tool is just a good way to get a feel for all of the plans that NAGDA represents. So you can come in here and click in and out of states to see all of the state and local plans from that state. And we'll be taking a look at the member directory in a few minutes where you can find contact information for all of your fellow members. So below that plan sponsor map is a link to a list of all of our industry members. And again, just an easy view of all of our members. And all of these are actually linked to their website. So you could click here to find out more information about them. So next, we will take a look at some of our plan sponsor tools. So first up, we have our best practice guides. So we have taken our best practice guides and converted them from a PDF format to web pages. So you can see them all listed here with brief overview of each of them. So when you open them up, you'll get the introduction here, and then below that are the links to the different sections there. So our publications committee is actually currently working on editing and updating these guides, and we will be redesigning these web pages to be able to display all of this valuable information in a more visually appealing way for you. So another tool that we will take a look at are the resource downloads. So this is where you can access all of NAGDA's past publications and issue briefs, and we have grouped them into categories for you to make it easier to find exactly what you're looking for. So you can simply select a category and it'll pull up all of the related documents that we have. And we have added the month and year of the original publication date to these. So you can click on the title here, which will bring up a preview of the document, and you can scroll down to download here, or you can simply select download from the main page here to download the full PDF. And you can also get to the other categories by using this navigation bar to the right over here. Next, we will look at the data center. So as Matt touched on, this is a portion of the website that has room to grow. So as we begin gathering more data from our members, we will be adding items to this section, but for now, it is where you can access the benchmarking data. So on the benchmarking data page, there is a link to the online portal. So any plans that completed the survey last year have access to this online tool, which allows them to manipulate the data to be able to easily compare their plan to other survey respondents. So you can click here, which will take you to the portal login. So these credentials to log into the portal are separate from your NAGDA credentials. So if you completed the plan last year and you don't have your credentials to access the portal, you can reach out to staff and we'll get those for you to be able to get you logged in. And you can use this contact us button here to just shoot us a quick email and we will get those for you. Further down the benchmarking data page is where you can also download the executive summary of the report and the full detailed benchmarking report. Next, we will look at the member directory that I mentioned earlier. So under membership, it is the bottom item on that menu there. And this will bring you to the advanced search directory where you can search for your fellow members by name, company or plan name, and location. So for example, if you wanted to see all of the members located in the state of Florida, for example, you can enter the state there and that will bring up names, contact information, and titles, the plans that they're associated with all here. And you can easily shoot them an email by clicking on their email address there. You can also send them a message through the forum by selecting send message, which will also be delivered to their email. And if you can see that these results actually yield both government and industry members. But if you're a government member and you only want to see other government members, for example, you can enter state or any other search criteria and then use the community name field to select NAGDCA government members, and that search will yield you just NAGDCA government members. So that's just an easy way to narrow down the results a little bit further. Next, we will look at the member forums, specifically the discussion thread. So like Matt mentioned, there are many different ways to get to the forums, but we will go to the government membership page to go directly into the government member forum. So you can see all the different ways to access the different portions of the forum, but we will go directly to the government member group. And that will bring you to the home page, which displays all of the latest discussion posts, as well as the latest documents, and then a group of all of the members down here. If you want to browse old posts or reply to old posts, you can use the discussion tab at the top there. And you can click on any of the titles of these. And if you have a response to any of them, you can click reply in line to the latest post, or you can click the little down arrow to reply directly to the sender. If you have a new message that you want to post to the group, you can simply select post new message. You'll enter the subject of your message, the content of your message here, and you also have an option to attach any related documents, and then select send. And that will send an email to all of your fellow government members if you are in this group here. Next, we will take a look at the RFP and job posting libraries. So we'll go back to the government membership page, and you can see the links to both the RFP and job posting platforms. So we'll go into the RFP platform here, and you can browse all of the old RFPs in this library, or you can create your own new library entry. So you would enter the title of your RFP, a brief description here, and then select your entry type. So you are most likely going to be using one of two entry types, which are the hyperlink and standard file upload. So if you have more information about the RFP on a website, you'll want to select the hyperlink and enter that URL on the next page. Or if you, for example, have the RFP in a PDF format that you want to attach, you would select the standard file upload option and click next, which is where you would enter your URL or upload your file. So an important thing about the RFP library and the job posting library is that when you create a new post, it does not send a message to members. So staff are monitoring these and pulling out any new posts to include in our weekly emails. But if you wanted to alert your fellow members in real time that you've added a new one, you can also post a message to either the open forum or the government member forum to let everyone know in real time. So we have these quick links at the top of the member forum here to navigate to the different areas. So if you wanted to send a message about a new RFP or job, you could select member forums and go to the open forum, for example, which is for both industry and government members, and create a new discussion post similar to how the state of Nevada did recently. So like I mentioned, the job posting library functions pretty much exactly the same way. So you can look at old jobs, you can create a new post with the title, description, and either link to a website for more information or upload a file. So again, those don't send a message to any members, but you can pull it out and post it to either the open forum or the government member forum, and we will also be putting those in the weekly emails. So I will turn it back over to Matt, and he will tell you what we have planned up next.
All right. Thank you, Carly. So we hope that you saw some features that interest you in the new site, but we really hope that you're asking, great, so what's next? And our answer to you is, you tell us. We'll be working hard in the future to build resources that are useful to you. Hopefully you saw some of those today, but We can't continue to build them in the direction that you want unless we have your input. We will be surveying membership throughout the year to determine the best direction for efforts in the future. And so be sure to respond to those surveys if you have any ideas, but we also encourage you to reach out anytime. The easiest way to do that is through the Contact Us page on the site. You can find that on the homepage at the bottom or the top. Those messages come straight to the staff. And this entire site, the way it is right now, was built on ideas from all of you. Hopefully some of you listening have had some of those ideas and saw them brought to life today, but we know there are many more ideas out there and we'd love to hear them. It doesn't look like we have any questions that came up in the chat about any of the features that we have or any of the plans that we have. Hopefully that means we covered everything. And so I'll give you a minute. It doesn't look like anybody's typing. All right, so we will conclude the presentation then at this point. And we'd like to thank you all for attending today. We hope you saw something that you're excited about or something that you feel like you can use. Hopefully you can see where we're headed in the future. You may have noticed that this was our first webinar in a while. The reason for that is that we decided to change the format this past year, and we've been working on what that will look like. Our plan for this year is to have more frequent but shorter webinars where one speaker talks about their approach to common issues that all of you face. Our first webinar in that format will be on April 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern. It will feature Jeff Hudson from the state of Indiana. Jeff will be discussing his approach to participant communication. He has a background in marketing in the private sector, and he's brought a very data-driven approach to communications that has proven successful. We think you'll find it enlightening, and we encourage you to save the date for this one. You can see all the details on the screen, and we'll also be sending out more information in the months to come. There's also, of course, information on the site. Again, we thank you for joining us, and we hope you all have a great day.